holders.
So how did Sebi's recent reclassification affect your portfolio?
Well, it was not that it affected only our portfolio. The entire industry went through this whole process of reclassification. I think the most significant change for us was that we have a very strong branded product fund called the Prudence Fund, and we had a very strong branded HDFC Balanced Fund. But as per the new Sebi dispensation, we are not allowed to use words like prudence or words like balance. Nobody in the industry is allowed to do that. So the names of these funds have changed to Prudence has changed to Balance Advantage, and the Balanced Fund name has changed to HDFC Hybrid Equity Fund. So there is some change in the names of the fund, but fundamentally those funds have not changed materially. And I think there will be some time during which it will settle back to people recognizing that the HDFC Hybrid Equity Fund is nothing but the old HDFC Balanced Fund. And the HDFC Balanced Advantage Fund is nothing but the earlier erstwhile HDFC Prudence Fund. So there have been similar smaller changes in some of the other funds, but it's a matter of time that things will settle down, and I think whatever Sebi has done is good for the industry.
So do you think that creating alpha, especially in the large cap funds, will now be a daunting task?
I don't necessarily think so. I think when you look at creating alpha, you have to anyway when you look at performance in any equity fund, you have to look for performance only for periods of 3 or 5 years or even more. So this is not an asset class which is expected to deliver in the type of investments that we do in 3 months or 6 months. The time frames has to be 3 to 5 years or more. And if you look at time frames which are 3 to 5 years or more, then I think the industry asset managers should be able to deliver a reasonable alpha net of costs.
Are you sitting on cash?
No, we don't hold as a strategy or a style. We typically do not hold significant amounts of cash. We do simply believe that if investors have already decided to invest with us, they've already decided to invest in the equity or the debt market. So we actually put that money to work almost immediately, and typically cash holdings in our equity funds is very, very low.
You think that retail flows that we are seeing right now, they will continue to sustain?
I think the retail flows went through almost a revolution in the last 4 to 5 years. In the first year when we got 80,000 crores, we were not sure what will come through the next year. But the second year, from 80,000, we got collections of about 93,000 crores. The third year, the 93 became 1,07,000 crores, and the fourth year it became 2,60,000 crores. So I think now there is a clearly well reinforced flow of money that is coming simply from SIPs. If you look at in the industry's SIP collection, the SIP collections are 7,500 crores approximately a month. That 7,500 crores is growing at 200-300 crores every month. That itself will give you more than 1 lakh crores in a year. So I feel quite confident that the 2,50,000 or 2,60,000 crores that the industry was able to collect in FY18 may or may not get repeated. But I think we will still, for the first 3 months, we have got 40,000 crores. So if you look at that rate, it will still be 1,60,000 crores. So these are very strong numbers. So I think it is reassuring to see that this positive trend of getting 12, 14, 15,000 crores is continuing. SIP, new people signing into SIPs, it continues to happen. So I think that augurs well for the industry.
So what sort of funds, what types of funds that you are recommending retail investors right now?
I don't think this would be a forum to really, because we are talking about our IPO here, so this would not be appropriate to really be talking about which fund products. It is nothing like recommending a fund now. It is a recommending a fund for whom and for who's the person and what his financial need is. So it is not so much of an issue of now or later. It's more a question of whom I'm recommending, what's his wealth, what is his risk appetite, what is he seeking to achieve over the next 3 to 5 years, or more importantly a 10 to 15-year-old goal. And that really goes into the deciding of what kind of product he should be buying and how he should be diversifying across 2 or 3 or 4 product styles. So the question of recommending is not of a particular fund. It is like very much dependent on the person or the customer to whom the recommendation is made.
So your exposure to equities is quite good, 62%, like you said.
No, 62% is the funds we have received from retail AUM.
Okay.
From retail investors.
Okay.
Of the total AUM that we manage, 62% has come from retail investors.
So, do you expect good returns from equities in 5 to 10 years next?
We simply believe that equity as an asset class will give superior returns in the long run. That's been established historically, and we see no reason that will change.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.